Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Group03.
And my name is Liu Weiling.
We are from Xinfeng Senior High School. It's our pleasure to be here. The topic we're going to talk about is, with crisis comes opportunity, blended learning. It all began with the COVID-19 pandemic. Last May, we were not allowed to go to school. Remember that? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think the pandemic has been a blessing or a curse for learning? No? No? Okay, fine. Let me give you some opinion. I think this crisis turned out to be the great chance for us to learn remotely.
And you know what? It has brought a new educational wave called blended learning.
To explore our issue, we have divided our presentation into 3 parts. First, we compare and contrast in-class learning and online learning. Next, we'll talk about what blended learning is and its use in our classroom. Finally, we'll talk about prospects and offer some suggestions.
We hope you will have a better understanding of blended learning, how it can be applied to classroom, and how it can be we can adapt to it. Now let's move to part 1. What are the differences between in-class learning and online learning? Could you read what Wikipedia says?
First, online resources. Online resources abound. Students only need an internet connection.
On the other hand, in traditional classroom, learning resources are limited, but students don't need to stare at the screen.
Next, time management. Students have to manage their time and be the masters of their learning in online learning.
In contrast, students only have to follow the present timetable in schools.
The last one is learning effectiveness. Distance learning is effective because it can be done anytime, anywhere. We just need to be self-disciplined.
However, traditional classrooms are effective because students get supervised and guided by teachers.
Indeed, both have their pros and cons. So, which one is better?
Although that's a tough choice, luckily, there is a way that combines the advantage of both, called blended learning.
Let's move to the second part.
When we look at its definition and share the blended learning experience in my classroom. Could you read what Wikipedia says?
Sure. Blended learning combines online educational materials and opportunities with traditional place-based classroom methods. It requires the physical presence of both teacher and students, with some elements of student control over time, place, path, or pace. Wow, as I see, this approach caters to the individual need while enjoying the benefits of face-to-face support.
Right, and our teachers have integrated the elements of online teaching into classrooms involving the use of Google Workspace and cloud computing services, the use of online learning platforms and websites, and the inclusion of online gamification.
First, we make good use of Google Workspace and cloud computing service. For example, we make good use of Google Workspace. For example, we added access and collaborate on Google Docs and Google Slides. Next, we brainstorm ideas on Jamboard or Kaggle. Besides, our assignment in Google Classroom helps us build digital portfolios.
Another feature of our blended classroom is the frequent learning experience in my classroom. For example, learners help us find pronunciation problems. Adaptive learning can diagnose our abilities and provide exercise. easily gives us practice questions from its database, and our exam can be graded right away.
Still another is the inclusion of online gamification. Kahoot is our favorite since we can review the lessons while having fun. Quiz that help us memorize the words in an interesting way. Videos on YouTube and VoiceTube are not only informative but also entertaining.
With this, we believe we can achieve what was previously impossible. But how can we students catch up with the trend?
This will be answered in the final part, prospect and suggestions. Speaking of prospect, we recommend that online resources be used to supplement classroom learning. With these resources, we can learn at our own pace.
We can also use online resources to conduct our autonomous learning. In this way, we learn how to learn for life.
To maximize learning outcomes, we would like to offer 2 suggestions. One is that government should consider offering more e-books, purchasing mobile devices like tablets, computers, or teaching equipment like digital whiteboards with touchscreen is helpful too.
The other is that we suggest students receive more guidance on skills like time management skills, media literacy skills, and digital competencies. Only if students have this soft power can they make the digital devices.
All in all, because of the pandemic, we are able to think about combining technology with learning. This is a clear demonstration of the proverb, with crisis comes opportunity.
Yes, and I think we can say now is the best time for us to learn and for lifelong learning to take place.
So, what are you waiting for?
That's all for today.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your presentation. I think both of us are teachers, so I think that this presentation can make sense to us to a very great extent. And I think this presentation is quite informative and comprehensive and well organized, because you used the ABCD opening strategy in the beginning. That means you ask us questions in the beginning to interact with us and to capture our attention, right? You also informed us of the benefits we could get from your presentation, and you showed your credibility, right? Because you have been through this COVID-19 pandemic and learning in a different way for maybe more than half a year, right? And you also gave us a clear direction, and in your presentation you could guide us following your agenda, the outline. Yes, so everything sounds and looks clear to me, so I didn't get lost in your speech. And the voice power, yes, I liked your intonation, your varied intonation. Although you stopped for a couple of times, right, during your presentation, but I don't think the interruptions affected your performance, because you could maintain the calmness and continued your presentation, and that's good. And the blended learning, I like it very much, because now I think that we can have the best of both worlds, right? Yes, we can have this on-site teaching and learning in the classroom, and we also can make good use of online teaching and learning resources at the same time. And the gamification you mentioned in the presentation, well, it's not a term that a senior high school student should know. Yeah, but gamification, if it's in a traditional classroom, then this kind of digital gamification is impossible to be integrated into the teaching and the learning process. But because thanks to this advantage technology, yeah, we can use cell phones and connect to Wi-Fi in the classroom. So yes, we can learn any subjects in a fun and more interesting way, right? And I believe you also like the use of Kahoot or Quizlet or what else? Word wall, etc. So which one do you like the most?
I like Kahoot the most. It's the most interesting.
Yeah, very competitive and exciting, right? So yes, the use of these platforms can engage students in their learning process, right? So perhaps I think that yes, it's a blessing to us. I would like to interact with you in the beginning when you access to, well, is it blessing or is it, yes, correct. It's a very strong word, right? Yeah, but yes, I think it's a blessing to every one of us here because we have started to think what we can do, right? Because now we cannot avoid this COVID-19 pandemic. Right, we need to learn to coexist with it. So it's one of the topics, right, in today's presentations. So all in all, I like your presentation, and I think that both of you and your supervisors must have put great efforts into preparing for this presentation. Thank you.